Electric vehicles may feel like the future, but their roots reach far deeper than many imagine. Long before modern brands pushed EVs into the mainstream, companies in the early 1900s were already experimenting with clean, silent mobility. One of the most fascinating examples is the 1920 Milburn Light Electric Model 27L, a fully functional antique EV now up for auction and revealing just how innovative electric cars were more than a century ago. The Milburn Wagon Company, an early pioneer in electric mobility, began its EV production in the early 20th century. Back then, electric cars enjoyed impressive popularity because gasoline vehicles were messy, loud, and notoriously difficult to start. Cranking an engine was uncomfortable and sometimes dangerous, so many drivers preferred the quieter, cleaner electric option. However, once combustion cars gained electric starters and improved exhaust systems, the balance shifted, pushing EVs into decline. Yet, during their prime, electric cars were cleverly engineered machines, offering features that today feel almost ahead of their time. The Milburn Model 27L is a perfect example. Built in 1920, this vehicle offered capabilities that could rival some early modern EVs. Instead of relying solely on long charging times, Milburn offered a battery exchange system. Lead-acid batteries at the time needed hours to recharge, so swapping them out was a practical workaround. Although different manufacturers used incompatible systems, the idea shows how early automakers were thinking creatively about range and convenience. The Model 27L being sold today is even more remarkable because it is not a replica or a restored conversion. It remains almost entirely original and drivable, making it a rare piece of automotive history. Once part of the Crawford Auto Aviation collection, the car later moved into private hands before being acquired by its current seller, who now lists it for auction with a clean Montana title. Interestingly, the documents list the car incorrectly as a 1918 model, even though it is a true 1920 example. Mechanically, the Milburn 27L is both simple and surprisingly advanced. Powered by a General Electric motor, it delivers 5 forward speeds and 2 reverse speeds, controlled by rheostats rather than a gearbox. This makes driving smooth and quiet, with instant torque typical of electric vehicles. Power comes from 5 12-volt batteries wired in series, placed both in the front and rear compartments. Despite the century-old design, the car remains roadworthy and capable of everyday operation. Steering is done using a tiller system, a design more common in early electric and horseless carriages. Braking is equally interesting, combining drum brakes at the rear with electromagnetic components that provide regenerative braking. Seeing regenerative braking on a car from 1920 highlights just how forward-thinking early EV engineers were. Even at low speeds, this system helped recharge the batteries and reduce wear on the mechanical components. Today, spotting a 105-year-old electric vehicle outside a museum is almost unheard of, which makes this auction listing particularly special. The Milburn's bright, upright cabin, elegant simplicity, and whisper-quiet drivetrain capture a time when electric cars were viewed as refined personal transport. Instead of screens, sensors, or chargers, this EV delivers a more direct connection to the early days of automotive invention. The Milburn Light Electric Model 27L serves as a time capsule of both innovation and charm. It reminds us that while technology evolves, good ideas tend to resurface. Battery swapping, regenerative braking, and quiet electric drive are not new concepts. They are simply returning to the spotlight in a modern world ready to embrace them again. Vintage electric cars like this one reveal that the journey toward cleaner mobility didn't begin recently, but more than a century ago, carried forward by inventive minds looking for better ways to travel. With the Milburn 27L now heading to a new owner, its legacy continues to shine as a remarkable chapter in the long story of electric innovation.